Hi, welcome to the Senior Network. I'm your host, Greg Fulton, and today we are joined by Natalie Lucas.
Hi there.
Optimal Hearing Systems. Good to see you again.
Yes, sir. Nice to see you.
Joe Agee, Director of Sales, Seabrook Hilton Head. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Well, on the last show, I can't believe it, we're already talking about the holidays. Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
Before you know it.
I know. So tell us, Joe, I know you guys a gorgeous place there at the Seabrook. Do y'all start your decorations and putting things up and planning parties and meals?
Yeah, actually it starts with Halloween.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really focus on Halloween quite extensively.
Yeah?
Well,
when you say that, meaning they have like costume events?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they
happy hour costume event?
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of people do dress up, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the costumes that they wear are quite amazing as well. But they have a nice party, and it's
do they have
a lot
a contest?
of pictures.
A contest?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
How about you, Joe? Do you dress up with them?
No. I let them have their fun.
Let them do it all?
Yes. Yes. I tell folks, I said, look, I'm not a resident here. I work here.
Yeah.
But y'all do that. But it truly is amazing, some of the costumes that you see. People spend a lot of time putting them together.
Good. Well, you guys do a fantastic job. And I know we always talk about the fun stuff that's going on at Seabrook, but there's the back of the house side of it that really means a lot and you guys take pride in. And that's really the healthcare side of things.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about, I know you have your own home health, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Tell us how that works, the services.
Well, the Seabrook has 206 condominiums.
Okay.
And those are all independent living properties.
Right.
And so,
do they buy into that or rent?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
A couple of different wrinkles there that give us a number of options.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
So it's one of those things where the home health department creates that bridge between independent living and skilled nursing.
Okay.
As a CCRC, we have all three disciplines, which then the assisted living component is taken care of by our home health and wellness department.
Okay.
And it's run by a registered nurse who has access to roughly 40, 45 health professionals on a contract basis that work at the other communities as well. And they will go to our residents' own condominium and provide them the health services that they need.
This would be like caregivers, CNAs, those types of
Very similar, yes.
Okay.
Where it's anything from pill management to helping somebody take a shower. And those are all a la carte expenses that are charged, and that's what would be on their bill at the end of that month.
Okay. Natalie, I know you work obviously over the Seabrook and you see a lot of this. So the continuum of care, for the viewers that don't know, you had mentioned it, which I think is fascinating to be able to stay in place like that you actually have your own independent living, you're healthy, you're doing your own thing. We all age and things change, unfortunately, so,
right.
For us. Then you step into like the more of assisted, correct?
Right.
And then you actually go through your Fraser Center, that would be the nursing side of things,
correct.
Right? This skilled side, right?
And there's some scenarios where people will actually go and stay at the Fraser for rehabilitation purposes.
Oh, sure. Yeah, right.
And therefore, you've got what's nice is the other spouse could easily walk over and see them when they're in the Fraser, as well as when they're out of the Fraser back at their condominium. It's a very short. It's the rehabilitation. PT area is right there at the Fraser Health Center, so it's very convenient for them to do their...
So say you went and had hip surgery or whatever, and you're going to have to go through some physical therapy, you can actually, instead of having to go out elsewhere, you can do it right there.
Exactly.
I have a number of patients who are over there, and I've seen them go into the Fraser Center and then back home, and I can definitely attest to the fact that it makes them more comfortable knowing that their home is just right across the lawn.
Yep.
I've seen it really make a big impact on people.
And in some cases, people aren't driving, or they don't like to drive at night, and just to be able to walk, over to the Fraser from where they live, which would probably be, 2 minutes.
Right.
Really makes it convenient. It really does.
I'm assuming with the Fraser Center, if you're obviously 65 or older, that Medicare will pay for a lot of those services, correct?
Well, it all ends up going through the hospital. You have to spend those 3 nights at the hospital, and then once you get sent to one of the skilled facilities for your rehab, which Fraser, of course, would
Right.
all of our residents would want to come to.
Sure.
And that's where Medicare will basically pay for the first 100 days.
I got you. And do your residents get, I'm assuming, first priority,
Yeah.
first choice on the facilities there,
Yep.
correct? Do you take outside?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Fraser's open to the public.
Okay.
And we probably have at any one time, 8 to 10 to 12 folks there that are on the Medicare because they are there for rehabilitation purposes.
Absolutely. And when you say rehabilitation, meaning you PT, OT,
The whole gamut.
The whole gamut, right?
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
And if they need hearing aids, they call Natalie, right?
Absolutely. I've got her on my speed dial.
Right.
Well, Natalie, good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
You provided me, you're so good about providing information for the shows.
Right.
And this long report, but it's very, very intriguing, and I know we won't go through the whole thing, but it was a large study done, which really went into, fascinates me being in the home care business, about the untreated hearing loss increases the chances of dementia and Alzheimer's, which we deal with a lot. Tell us a little bit about what you found in the study when it comes to that.
This study, which was funded by the National Institute of Health as well as the University of Michigan, was the first really large study to find that actually adopting hearing aids can, put off for a spell things like dementia, Alzheimer's, risk of falls, depression,
Sure.
loneliness. We've known for quite some time that untreated hearing loss led to higher instances. But again, this was the first major one that looked at how actually adopting hearing aids can ward off those things. And it found that yes, people who did adopt hearing aids early, which was
Right.
a key, who did not wait but rather got their hearing tested and adopted hearing aids early, did extend the period of time before some things like dementia or Alzheimer's, falls did occur. Which is really fascinating because if you think about it, one of the biggest issues with purchasing hearing aids for many people is the cost of hearing aids.
Right.
But when you look at this, the cost of not adopting hearing aids could be much greater in the long run, and that's kind of what they're finding, which may have some really big impacts on insurance companies and things like coverage.
And I think it will, and circling back around, because we look at the same thing, the stigma of the cost of home care out of pocket, where folks really don't realize exactly what you're saying, that for $20 an hour and you're creating a fall risk, you're stopping a fall, that alone up front, being proactive, is
Right.
worth every penny compared to what you're going to go through if you actually go through a fall and you get admitted into the hospital and then you go through the rehab and everything we're talking about. It's that stigma of the pricing. And I can see that with the hearing aids too. Like you said, it's a very minimal cost at what it really can stop happening down the road, right?
Exactly. And I think we're in an era that people are waking up to the benefits of preventative care in
Right.
terms
Oh,
of
yes.
long-term
Yes.
costs, not just with
Yes.
hearing aids, but with so many other things like, healthy eating and diabetes, or, it's just, I think people at least are finally waking up and learning that prevention is much more cost-effective
Sure.
in the long run.
And I know, from your report, it was staggering to see that, there's more than 27 million Americans age 65 and older actually live with a hearing loss. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of
Without
folks.
a doubt, and I think too, when you look at the fact that the baby boomers are aging into their senior years, which is such a large population, and not only that, it's a rock and roll population.
Yeah.
So you're going to have more and more. Those numbers are growing, and they will continue to grow, which is why I think there's such a large number of studies really focusing on that right now.
So that's why I can't hear, is all that rock and roll music I
Good old-fashioned
played on
rock
my
and roll.
8-track back in the day. That's exactly what
Right.
did it to me then. That's fascinating. Well, it's actually an astonishing report. Like I said, I don't want to bore the viewers with all the details, but it talks about really going into the national data, like you mentioned, the insurance claims and so forth, that this is going to open up a lot of doors, just like with Medicare Advantage, some of the things changing with home care being put inside of that umbrella now.
I think one other thing that was fascinating was the disparity both between the sexes of people who adopt hearing aids
Right.
as well as racial disparity. That's something that I personally would very much like to change. You see more males than females. There's still some stigmas. And you see more white or Caucasians than other races. And I think that there's probably a number of factors that go into that.
Sure.
Pricing could certainly be one,
Yeah.
stigma's another. But I'd like to see those stigmas at least change.
Exactly, I agree with you. Well, hold that thought. Great information, by the way. We need to take a break. This is the Senior Network. Stay with us. We'll be right back.